to the translation of this verse is, and if there were a Quran by which mountains could be moved, or by which the earth could be cut asunder, or by which the dead could be spoken to, they would still not believe in it. Nay, the matter of their believing rests entirely with Allah. Have not the believers yet come to know that if Allah had enforced His will, He could have surely guided all mankind? And as for those who disbelieve, disaster shall not cease to befall them for what they have wrought, or to alight near their home, until the promise of Allah comes to pass. Surely Allah fails not in His promise.
Yes, what is the question?
ماذا يعني هنا الجبال أو قطعة الأرض أو كل من موتى بهذا السؤال؟
You see, this was the belief of earlier people about their prophets. Whenever a prophet of Allah, who is always human and does not bring anything unnatural or supernatural to prove his prophecy, people after his death begin to create myth out of him and legendize him. This is what they have always done to all the earlier prophets. So, in relation to Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, working under that belief that Hazrat Isa alayhi salam or somebody else had raised the people from the dead, from the grave, the dead from the grave, and at his bidding mountains could be moved, and things like these. They expected, or they required from, not expected but demanded from Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that unless you show us signs like these, which are so clear, which nobody can miss, we will not believe in you. First bring signs like these. If we see the mountains moving, if we see the dead being raised, then of course we will believe you to be a true prophet of Allah, not otherwise. The Holy Quran dismisses this claim with a most wonderful argument, which does not go into the detail of, into the criticism of the authenticity of their claim. Instead of saying, no, your understanding of the Bible is wrong, this did not happen at all before, and so on and so forth, the Holy Quran says that what is the purpose of all this exercise? So that God makes you believe. Is that the purpose or is it not? So if God wanted to make everybody believe, why should He have gone through all this botheration and trouble of making the mountains move and bring the dead to life? God could have done it without anything. So this is not the design of Allah, to show such signs as faith becomes compulsory. And in the same argument, God rejects all earlier claims, because if it had happened, then whoever brought this about, his truth would have been accepted by all who saw and witnessed this claim. And they say Jesus did. Why didn't they believe in Him then? If He moved the mountains, if He revived the dead, then it was a sure sign of a nature which simply could not be rejected. So why didn't they believe in Him? So this is all false, all just a word of your mouth and there is no truth in it. But if it is true, then it means that these signs are not sufficient to make people believe. So why are you demanding it from Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? When according to your own belief, these signs failed to convince people earlier. How many did believe in Jesus by seeing these signs? None. Only these signs are reported by some very weak sources. which by some who already believed in Jesus. There is no evidence whatsoever from the New Testament that when Jesus showed these signs, the whole multitude of people believed in him. None did. So when he was about to be crucified, there were only 12 disciples, the earning of his lifetime. That was all. So either these signs were never shown, or if shown, they were taken as meaningless by people. Either way, how can you demand it from Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? So in very short, in some short expressions, the Holy Quran speaks of all these arguments and condenses them in a very short statement. Do you understand?
Yes. I hope so.